Yes, thanks for staying with us. Time to turn our attention to hockey. If you think a week's not too long a time in sport, imagine Rio not too far away, and the girl we're about to introduce, Gabby Nance, of course, could be a chance to be in Rio. Gabby, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we've just seen the Hockey Rouge play. They played off for a bronze medal in Belgium. They finished in third spot, so they are now an automatic qualifier for Rio. What does that mean for you?
Puts me in the best position, obviously. We have another qualifier coming up, like the Oceania Cup, and then we have another qualifier. But qualifying this early for us is really good. And for me, being young and relying on, obviously, potentially injury or just someone getting kicked out.
Why are you smiling when you mention injury?
Because that's how I made Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
So
you know what intrigued me about the latest tournament in Belgium was that the Hockey Rouge had to finish, I think, was it top 4 to even qualify at this stage, which surprised me, given our long history in the sport of being so good and consistently good.
Yeah, well, you just look at Korea, who just came second in the qualifiers. They haven't qualified and they did so well in the tournament. So they have to rely on another tournament to make it. So it's funny how they do it, actually.
Yeah. All right, you talked about the Champions Trophy, of course. You were on a plane coming home, thinking you're not going, and then you get a phone call when you land. What was that like for you?
A bit surreal. I think I was just numb, I reckon, until I arrived in New Zealand. I was like, oh, wow, okay, I'm here now. But yeah, it was amazing. Obviously, not great circumstances for the girl that got injured. But yeah, pretty happy.
But I noticed you're smiling again.
Yeah.
It just seems to be a constant.
That does happen.
But the competition is fierce, obviously, for a position in. But I think now knowing what the ultimate goal is over this next 12 months or so, gives all the girls a focus. And as much as you're right on the edge, there's probably 4 or 5 behind you, hoping that, you know, with a bit of luck, their way.
Injured.
Gets injured. But, you know, it's a lot of pressure on. So there's still a lot of water to fly under that bridge before we head to Rio.
Yeah, and there's a few tournaments coming up, smaller ones, where I reckon a younger group will go through.
Yeah.
It's pretty different though, the older group that have been there for a while and then the younger group, and like we have 2 different styles of play, and I think it'll just rely on what Como wants at the end of the day.
When you talk about the groups, they have, you know, we understand it, but for the people watching, the Futures group.
Yes.
What is the Futures group?
So Futures group, I think it's under 21s, and it's just the up and comers. Anyone, the national selectors just notice. You may be able to do a specific skill, maybe like a drag flick or something like that. And then you just get put into different groups. You travel around Australia for weekends and focus on set skills. And then hopefully you just keep going up through like that.
All right, travelling for you, let's go through it. Started in Queensland.
Yes.
Went to New South Wales as an 8-year-old. That's where you started your hockey.
Yes.
Then you're in Queensland from under 13 state teams to under 18 state teams.
Yes.
Then you get drafted to South Australia to play in the under 21s.
Yeah.
And then you're only here a couple of years, and then you decide to go to Perth for a while. So
yes.
Do you like travelling? Are you really that bad? No one wants you to stay around.
I think that's what it is. It's like, yeah, everyone tries to get rid of me.
Yeah.
No, I'm used to it now. I don't think I necessarily like it. I'm just used to it.
What's been the hardest part? The hardest part going to Perth? I mean, that's where it is. You have to be in Perth.
Yeah.
If you're going to Rio, you've got to be there. What's the hardest part leaving maybe South Australia's home now? Is it family? What's the toughest thing?
Family, because my family moved to Adelaide with me. So it was my first time with my family in about 3 or 4 years because I lived out of home. And then having to leave them again was really tough, and you don't really have the luxury of travelling home any weekend that you want in Perth. It's just too far and too many commitments over with hockey.
They have a 6-week block when you're preparing maybe for the Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
Can you take us through that 6-week block, what it's like, the training, the amount of training? Because some people go, oh, you're in there for 6 weeks and you train once a day and it's not too hard. And we know it's not like that.
No.
Can you give us an overview of how it is?
It's really tough. It's probably our toughest block just before tournament. You're looking at twice a day, you know, probably 4 to 5 hours of training a day, whether it be on the pitch, gym, anything like that. Or meetings are tough as well. Probably just because you're trying to stay awake.
Yeah. Earlier we spoke with Stephen Schwert, who's high performance manager at the Redbacks, and he's talking about working to this elite standard and maintaining players.
Yeah.
What is it for under 21s? Is it maintenance now through to Rio, or is it an area or areas of your game that you need to work on to give yourself a better chance?
Oh, it's definitely not maintenance.
No.
It's just constant improvement.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, everyone has skills that they need to improve, and yeah, it's constant. Even for the best players in the world, like Jodie Kenny, she's still trying to improve on certain things, just to get to Rio.
Yeah, so there's no finish line. It's constantly. And we spoke about Belgium being the most recent. Was there any standout performances from the Hockey Roos or surprising performances? You mentioned Korea, apart from them?
A girl in the Aussie team, a young girl, Mariah Williams. I think it's her first major tournament. I think she was one of our best striker midfielders. Yes. I think she was brilliant, yeah.
Normally when you play, and you're still in the infancy really, even though you're under 21, there's players that you admire that you model your game on, that you take parts from. Who are some of those players for you?
A bit of a cliche. Mine would be Madonna Blythe.
Yep.
Also, probably from my childhood a bit more would be Kim Tuckwell. It was Kim Small. So I went all through Tweed Border on the coast with her. And yeah, she's just incredible.
When we talk about hockey in South Australia, I always talk about Juliet Haslam. She always comes up. Have you had much to do with her?
No, I actually haven't had any sort of contact with her.
Good idea not to. No, she's lovely. Juliet's fantastic. So good friend. Yeah. But they don't come out. Is there a mentoring process? You know, we see it in football where they'll, get ex-footballers for players to try and help them through that transition. Would that be something that you should maybe consider?
My coach, Tim White, I think he would consider him a mentor.
He's the mentor?
Yeah. Okay. He's an ex-player. No, he was great. We actually have a mentor. We're all assigned a mentor when we're over in the AIS. So mine's Rachel Lynch, the goalkeeper.
Yep.
And she's amazing, just really driven, and it's very contagious.
And I think too the Hockey Roos, and in fact hockey in general in Australia has always been a well-respected sport. Some sports really battle for attention, but for Worlds and for Olympic Games, you've always
it's the most watched sport.
Yep.
Yeah, and rightly so. But has hockey always been your number one focus? Has there been another sport during the journey?
When I was younger, I played a bit of everything.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed cross country, but obviously there's not much of a sport, and I definitely wasn't going to do marathons.
Yeah.
But as soon as I picked up a hockey stick, I was like, yep, that's it. I found my sport.
And all the rest went?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're talking earlier in the show about elite athletes. It's a term that's easily thrown out. Oh, yes, Gabby's an elite athlete.
Yeah.
And Poppy wasn't. Well, could have been.
But I knew some. I knew a few people that were elite athletes.
Is there a day off for you anymore now? I mean, Rio's not far away. Can you have that one? Oh, Christmas is coming. I'll eat extra Christmas pudding. Or are you that focused now, saying, no, every post has to be a winner from here on in?
I think that just comes naturally. It's not necessarily a chore. Like our whole team's got the same goal. We all want the same thing. You just want to be the best all of the time.
So what's your edge? If everyone wants to be the same, what's your edge?
Oh, gosh. I don't really have anything. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress.
All right, we've got some footage of the girls playing for the bronze medal. Perhaps you can have a look at that and say, these are the star players, these are the ones that I'd like to be like.
Take us through the
Georgia Nanscorn runs along the back line straight to Ash Nello for the first time on top. It was actually a really brilliant shot, the first one.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, got the keeper offline. Jane Claxton on the post, standing there waiting. It's the dream goal. Ball pops out to you. Yep. Casey over the ball. Donnie over the ball, straight out. This is Mariah Williams, the one I was talking about earlier, along the back line. Stays composed, finds the space, little gap between the goal and the goalie, and puts it away.
So was this the playoff for third and fourth, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
But New Zealand beat you prior?
Yes, they beat us 2-0 in the round games.
Yeah, they beat you 2-0, then you won 4-2, I think, from memory. But what was the turnaround in those two games?
I don't know. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything different. It's just a switch.
Yeah.
And we want to come third, we had to qualify.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it came down to. And we hadn't scored many field goals throughout the tournament, and we just scored 4 in one game, which is brilliant.
Pretty amazing. Gabby, we've got to go. We'd like to talk to you more about the Olympics, so I'm sure we'll get you back in for a chat. It looks like you could be a commentator based on the commentary you did there on the footage.
Very good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, Gabby, and we'll follow you with interest to make sure you get to Rio. Need someone injured, Poppy's the man to call. We'll take a break. Back with more in a moment.